Good day, wherever you're watching for. We have a very special guest in the house with us today. There are currently 100,000 health and social care jobs in the UK. The average starting salary for a children and family social worker in the UK is about £35,000. If you're joining us for the first time, thank you very much for joining the Launch Club. And if you are one of our regular followers, thank you very much for all your support. Please hit the like button and share and comment. I've got a very important person in the house today. Can you kindly introduce yourself and thank you very much for joining the Launch Club?
Hello everybody, my name is Singa Pilkait and I'm Francis' friend. We met each other through work, I believe. So
Correct.
we are colleagues.
Yeah.
Professional friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm a social worker.
Good. How long have you been a social worker?
Let's say 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
Where are you from originally?
Lithuania, I'm Lithuanian.
Lithuania. So did you train in the UK?
In UK, I trained in UK. In Lithuania, I have got a degree in business management and accounting.
Okay, so you qualified as an accountant?
In 2004.
Okay.
Yes.
So what made you an accountant decide to go into social work?
Back in the days, obviously, parents would encourage you, to do certain things, thinking that this would be the best for you. But when I reached the age when I started searching for myself, I was looking for meaning and purpose, right, for myself. So social work is something that I felt passionate about.
Okay. So when you decide you want to go into social work, what were the processes that you followed before you became a social worker?
Unconsciously, I was volunteering for quite a few local authorities and local community centers.
Okay.
That's where I met a few people we've done some projects for homeless, for people with addictions. I worked with youth with challenging behaviors. And this way I kind of found myself enjoying it really, and I've done it free of charge. So I thought why not to get a degree and get paid for what I love doing, yeah.
Okay, so you did voluntary, you enjoyed it, and you decided to get a degree. Did you have to go through any qualification like college?
Yes, I've done access to higher education, to social work specifically. I've with modules of communication law and sociology.
Okay.
1 year course.
Okay.
And you normally would pay £3,000 for that course.
Okay.
If you get to university,
yeah,
the £3,000 would be withdrawn.
Okay.
You would not have to pay for it.
Okay.
Yeah. But initially you can apply for a loan.
Yeah.
So government would help you with funding in the way.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you went to which college did you go to?
Reading College.
Okay. You did communication law and sociology.
Correct.
Okay. And how was the experience of going to college after many years?
Brilliant, brilliant. It was good. As I mentioned to you, I was not quite confident about my English. I wasn't sure whether I would be able to study in English, but the experience was brilliant, and I ended the course as the student of the year. So it was good experience, yeah.
Wow, so from being out of education for a very long time, you went back to college and you ended up being the student of the year.
Correct.
Good. So what strategies do you have for someone who is in your shoe, who is thinking of going to college, who is thinking of, should I go social college, social work, nursing, mental health? What would you advise that person who is watching us now?
Search for yourself. You have to understand what you are best at, right? So for me, studying social work, I didn't feel the time. It melted, right? So I enjoyed it. If you put me in college studying nursing, probably I would find it boring, because it's not me. Maybe I would be scared of the blood. Whereas social work, it was something I loved. I was passionate about. I was passionate to volunteer free of charge, right? So you have to find yourself before choosing a course. So obviously access to higher education, doing nursing, social work or mental health, maybe it's worth trying it, which would prepare you for the university.
Okay, some people have asked this question, when you say social work, you mean health, you mean social care, what is social work? So can you just give when you go into the office, just give the audience, what do you normally do? What does it entail in just bullet point of what social work is about?
Social work, working with families that are struggling with domestic violence, addictions, mental health, finances, learning difficulties, disabilities, and things like that. And social workers come in place to guide, organize, and support the families to improve their lifestyles and support them and prepare for the future so they can function without children social care involvement.
So part of your work involves supporting children.
Correct.
Under children in need.
Correct.
And safeguarding, which includes you may have to go to court to remove your child.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So I kind of touch on basics, but majority of the things what we're dealing with the children in need that are living with parents that are struggling with addictions, disabilities, finances, and things like that. And there are families that we're working that are on a child protection planning, which means that the children are on the edge of the care. And if there are changes not made, obviously, social workers normally would seek for legal advice in preparation for legal proceedings. So yes, we do work with the very simple tasks, and we deal with the court work as well.
Okay, so you decide you went to. I want us to go back to where you finished college,
Okay.
and what was the next stage?
When I finished the college, I applied for 5 options to various universities. I have chosen one, and they chosen me. So I studied at Winchester University.
That's a very good university.
Thank you.
What was your experience like of going to Winchester University?
I loved it because it's very small, very nice, very modern. Tutors are very nice as well. I had brilliant experience actually.
Okay, so I want us to when you were thinking of going to college, university, you said to me before that you had doubts whether you'll be able to do it. How did you overcome those doubts?
Talk to the tutors, do extra activities, engage with the people that been in or are social workers or doing similar jobs around social work. You have discussions, you have reflections, you share your aspirations, and these people would be able to encourage you and motivate you. Obviously surround you in the positive crowds. So that yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about getting advice.
Networking, basically.
Networking,
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So when you left university, how long did it take you to get a job?
Immediately.
Okay, so you got a job before you left university?
Yes.
Okay, one of the things about social work is there's job security.
Yes.
I don't know any social worker who is out of job.
Trust me.
Good. So you got your first job, and what was the experience like when you had your first job?
To be honest, as a student, I already was taking everything was offered to me, and I was working extra mile before college, during the college, at the university, and the most important thing is final year at the university when you are placed somewhere like in certain local authority. So what I've done, and that's what I would recommend everyone to do as much as you can, because it's learning experience. It will prepare you for the assisted year in social work, which is called ASYE, right? So once you've done good in your final year of the university, you have better chances to stay with the same local authority if you liked working for them and do your ASYE. My logic was, because I've done so well as a student, I was already prepared for the ASYE, and I said to solidify my knowledge and practice, it would make sense to stay in the same team and get more experience, right? For me to be a stronger candidate for the job, in preparation for the job, yeah?
Okay.
So that's what I've done, and that's how it worked for me.
Okay. So are you saying that your last placement in university equipped you because you're already doing the job?
Absolutely.
Okay, what would have happened if you were placed to a non-statutory placement in your last year?
It would have been, I don't know. We don't know until we know, but it would have been worse off, I think.
Okay.
It's much better. The most important thing is for you, if you want to go to work with the local authorities and with children's services, for example, make sure it's statutory placement. But then again, if university feels that you're not strong enough, they will not give you a statutory placement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you started working as a social worker and having gone through this journey, what do you think, what were the main challenges that you encountered and how did you overcome those challenges?
I had actually a practice supervisor, very good. So lucky me, you know, all my life, actually, all my journey to social work, I was surrounded by very skilled, highly qualified, and very empathetic people that helped me in this journey. You have to utilize your practice educators as much as you can, who would be able to guide you in the correct way.
Okay. Okay. So you have been practicing as a social worker for 3 years now.
Correct. Yeah.
So for someone who is a social worker, currently watching us from abroad, who is thinking of coming to the UK to practice, what would be your advice to them?
I'm not sure actually. If you have a degree abroad, that's quite useful. Because normally local authorities would hire international social workers. If you do not have that,
no, if they've already qualified.
Oh, okay. So the degree apply as an international social worker. Smooth way coming to the country. You would be practicing as an ASYE, assisted EA in social work, which means your workload would be protected. You would have a work supervisor or how you call it, like practice supervisor, would be able to guide you. I'm not quite sure how the process works because that's not the route I've taken, but from what I've heard, it's very straightforward and smooth route to get into social work in the UK. Yeah.
What about someone in the UK who is he or she, they've left education for a very long time, they have doubts, they are thinking of going back to university to study social work, nursing or mental health? What would be your advice for that adult, mature student who's thinking of going back to study?
So, although I've done it unconsciously, right, my number one advice would be go and get a volunteering or paid job somewhere at the lower end, right? So you get the experience, right? Once you have that experience, it also would clarify to you whether that's your passion and that's where you want to go, you know. The job doesn't have to feel like a torture, you know. The job needs to feel like something you enjoy doing, right? Yeah. So go and volunteer or get a low-paid job, even low-paid job, but you get into the place, right? So as in like a nursing assistant, right?
Yeah.
Or in terms of social work, there are plenty of the community centers that would require volunteers with some work, right? Yeah. If you cannot afford full-time hours, do part-time hours, do 5 hours a week, you know, it's enough for you to get gain better understanding. After volunteering, apply for an access course to higher education.
Yeah.
Once you're there, you know, they will prepare you with critical thinking. They will prepare in terms of communication, English style of learning and studying. They will support you with the applications to university. Once you go to university, do as much as you can. If you can, don't count your hours. Engage with the university extra activities, which will look very good on your CV and will make you a stronger candidate, right? As I mentioned to you before, when you apply for the job after university, nobody cares about your degree, right? They care about your experience. And when they interview you, they ask very, very simple questions, you know, related to work. And the answer to the questions is you either know or don't know. That's it.
That's good. So what you're saying is the more practical experience you have, the better your chance.
Absolutely.
Inga, it's been a pleasure having you coming to speak to the Lunch Club, and I'm sure that a lot of people will find your experience useful. Your experience could inspire some other persons to want to go into social work, and those who already practice social work, I'm sure there are things you've said that they will find useful. Thank you so much, Inga, for coming to speak to us. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.